Hey Nour, since you're sick, do you want to just skip this week maybe? Take a break?
No! The show must go on! Hey guys, Sick here, Nour here. And today we're talking about 8 different ways to kill a character. But before we get started, I can't believe how much love Divinity Falling got! I'm so thankful for all of you for supporting me and this book, and I hope you're all enjoying Addie and Adriel's adventure as they battle to save the world. And don't forget to leave Divinity Falling a review on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Goodreads, or anywhere you got the book, that way people can discover it. Also, I know I've mentioned this in my other videos, but I really love seeing all your photos of Divinity Falling. So be sure to tag me in them on social media and use the hashtag Divinity Falling, that way I could reshare them and give you a shout out. Okay, let's dive right in. Number 1, make your character sneeze so hard that their brain comes out of their nose. Just kidding, don't do that. It's not fun. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, number 1. This one is kinda obvious. The villain kills the character. This death is direct, brutal, and may or may not be to a central character. Now, obviously, these deaths aren't just for your protagonist. They're just fictional deaths in general. We might read about this death in a fictional newspaper or witness it on the battlefield. Point is, the villain is at the heart of this crime with all signs pointing to them. Okay, let's move on to less obvious ones. Number 2, the character self-sacrifices for the greater good or to keep their loved ones safe. This death is usually not an easy one to witness. This character has to make a difficult decision, often on the spot, that pretty much ends their life. This is made worse when we get to learn all about their hopes and dreams and even find out about their love life and family. But if they don't sacrifice themselves, others will die, possibly their loved ones. Number 3, the death that's nobody's fault. This usually takes place in more dramatic works or even stories that represent real-life issues. What exactly am I talking about? Well, deaths caused by illnesses or natural disasters. These are the deaths that are out of our control. Someone gets cancer and dies, or an earthquake hits, killing the inhabitants of a building. Some examples of these books are The Fault in Our Stars by John Green and A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. These type of deaths can be found in all genres of fiction, but they are the most common in coming-of-age stories and romance books. And of course, these deaths can happen to the main character or a loved one of theirs, and they are pretty much heartbreaking. Number 4, the accidental death. How can a death be accidental? Well, this is usually when a character kills another by mistake without intending to kill anyone at all, or by intending to kill someone else entirely. For example, a character is trying to poison somebody, but the wrong character who wasn't supposed to die takes the poison instead. Or a character plays around with a weapon thinking that it's a toy, and it goes off, killing another character standing nearby. Or a character shoots an intruder in their house thinking they have to defend themselves, but then they find out the intruder wasn't an intruder at all, but instead they are a loved one. Accidental deaths can be done in different ways, as you can see. Number 5, the death of betrayal. This is where a character gets close to another only to kill them. This is pretty much the kiss of Judas. This can be the main character getting close to the villain, or the anti-hero getting close to another character for manipulation. Or it can be the villain disguising themselves as a friend to kill the good character. Or it could be 2 genuine friends who side with different groups, and then one betrays the other for their cause. And that leads to a death that hurts because they still love each other. Number 6, a 13 Reasons Why type of death that starts or ends the story. It could be a Romeo or Juliet type of story too. I don't want to say the S word because YouTube really doesn't like the topic, but you know what I'm talking about. This death is tragic but sets the tone for the story. Number 7, this is a sudden death. This happens in war and military books usually, but it can happen in all kinds of books too. It's typically when characters are going about their job and suddenly a missile hits. And just like that, we have instant death. This is another heartbreaking death, especially when we don't see it coming. Number 8, I'm calling this one the revolution death. Why? Because it's usually circumstances within a society that leads to a character's death. Maybe not directly, but in the end, it sparks a revolution. Think of Rue's death in the Hunger Games. Sure, she was technically murdered by another character, but it's also more than that. It's the circumstances of society that put her in the games, and that eventually causes her death and the resulting revolution. So these are my 8 different ways to kill a character. Which of these have you used in your own stories? Did you use them on main characters or side characters? I'd love to know. So go ahead, kill some characters. I'm still sick. Before we go, I just want to thank Sarah Frayne from my shoutout tier over on Patreon, as well as all my other patrons. Thank you for your support. If you haven't checked out my Patreon yet, be sure to do so. All my patrons get some exclusive and awesome perks. And remember, Nour for president!